environmental project related to Sri Lanka. So to start with, basically next to my apartment, there is a lake that is very contaminated, and along that lake there are stacks of garbages that are just around just the lake, and people even don't notice that there are garbages along the lake. And from that situation and background, I thought that there was a big issue about waste management system and how the Sri Lankans deal with garbages and their nation. So I got to investigate further upon the topic of waste management system and kind of how to administer different types of garbages. When I also found this newspaper article from a Korean website, and it's called Sri Lankan President Visits Korea's Resource Recovery Plant. And from this newspaper, I learned that President Rajapaksa, the Sri Lankan president, was actually trying to improve their environmental facility in their nation, and also they also had a motivation to actually take action in order to ameliorate their management system. So I thought that it was a great thing to start with. So basically that's how I chose this topic. And also I had an opportunity to go to Korea, and through the visit I wanted to come up with an effective solution that would help ameliorate the management of waste in Sri Lanka. So my goal is to see the waste management system of Korea and Nanjido landfill restoration project in terms of sustainability. Also, I will briefly investigate Sri Lankan waste management system and decide whether or not Korea's waste management is a sustainable development model for other nations to follow. Primarily, we will visit a World Cup park that is successful in waste management system. The place where the park was built was called Nanjido, and this place was the first ever landfill established in Korea. However, it is also the first landfill that was transformed into an eco-friendly park, like today. So within the park, there are various facilities that effectively manage the waste, such as resource recovery plant as well as other regenerating facilities. Then we will investigate the overall waste management system in Korea by visiting the Ministry of Environment and by participating in an eco tour. Afterwards, by visiting a landfill and the Waste Management Authority here in Sri Lanka, we will be examining the waste management system in Sri Lanka as well. Through these two investigations, we will be examining the potential benchmarking that we could do in Sri Lanka. So get your seatbelt safely on and we're off to Korea.
So, my journey starts from the heart of Korea, Seoul, and Gangnam. I set out to my destination, the World Cup Park, which is situated in another district in Seoul called the World Cup Stadium. See the similarity? By taking the subway train from Gangnam to the World Cup Stadium, I learned a few historical backgrounds about the establishment of the World Cup Park. This park, which is presently the second largest national park in Korea, is also widely known for having the most eco-friendly and ecological environment. However, before the park had taken its healthy shape, after 1978, the time period of industrialization in Korea, the area, at the time called Nanjido, in which the park would be built later on, was a devastated landfill. There was an overload of different types of waste that would induce harmful chemicals from getting exposed, such as methane gas. There was so much garbage that for 15 years, the mountains of garbage would reach as high as 98 meters and take over approximately 2,716,000 square meters of land. To put this immense measurement in mass, the amount of the waste weighed more than 9,200 million tons. Fortunately, after realizing the grave condition of the waste dump site and the environment surrounding it, the Korean government, as well as citizens, decided to improve the critical state of the land by concluding that an ecology park is built for long-term environmental benefits. We decided to visit the World Cup Park as it seemed to be a great example of a potential solution that a nation could take in order to effectively manage a large quantity of waste and also provide a peaceful public place that is available to everyone. Furthermore, because citizens inhabiting in urbanized areas cannot easily access the countryside and mountains, which prevents them from being surrounded by the refreshing atmosphere of nature, the World Cup Park is the perfect place for urbanites to repose in a greener environment. In the World Cup Park, we visited the management office, which gave me more accurate and detailed facts about the history of Nanjido. Once we went inside the 2-story high office, on the first floor, there was a gallery called History of Nanjido that explains not only about the history of how Nanjido became today's World Cup Park, but also the present condition of the park. From the expositions in the gallery, I was able to learn that not all the waste had been completely removed, but the stacks of waste still exist beneath 6 thick layers of fertile soil. Nanjido once possessed a beautiful ecosystem where flowers and plants with all kinds of colors and aromas bloom during all 4 seasons, so migratory birds came to visit every year. During 15 years, from 1978 to 1992, myriad industrial and household waste from Seoul were dumped into the Nanjido landfill. This process was continued until 1993, when waste dumping was terminated. As a result to dearth of knowledge on basic sanitary and pollution prevention facilities, lackadaisical reactions, and lack of awareness from the citizens and the government took a toll upon the ecosystem surrounding the landfill, as leachate and toxic gas, especially methane gas, and constant conflagration from the landfill polluted the largest river in Korea, the Hangang River, that is situated in the heart of the nation. In 1991, which is 2 years before the landfill became officially closed, the Seoul Metropolitan Government acquired help from foreign experts to formulate a plan to impede further environmental problems that subsequently arose in the landfill and to maintain the implementation of the environmental stabilization measures. After evaluating the potential uses for the Nanjido landfill, which involved environmental, economic, and territorial usage, it was concluded that facilities should be constructed over the landfill to prevent any more pollution. The basic planning for the stabilization project was finalized from 1993 to 1996. Then, the official construction work began in December of 1996. The Seoul Metropolitan Government held public gatherings from myriad specialists from different varieties of fields in order to create a public place that citizens can enjoy. Thus, through careful planning, it was concluded that an environmentally friendly park is created. So, starting from 1999, until the completion in 2002, a total sum of $78 million was invested for this huge project that was created in order to commemorate the hosting of the 2002 FIFA Soccer World Cup by Korea and Japan. This 3,471,090 square meter eco-friendly site includes several diverse elements which are open to all citizens as well as foreigners. Pyeonghwa Park, translated as Peace Park, was built to celebrate the new millennium along with the 2002 FIFA World Cup Games. The Nanjicheon stream that was once a massive contaminated leachate was transformed into clean water that is now filled with different types of endangered animals, such as giant water bugs, reef turtles, and narrow-mouthed toads, as well as animals that used to inhabit in Nanjido before the region was used as a landfill, such as elks and nightingales. The stream could only be sanitized through the method of channeling water from the Hangang River into a pond situated in Peace Park that will then be canaled to the Nanjicheon stream. Also, just above the Peace Park, there's a Haneul Park, translated as the Sky Park. This section of the park is mainly used for educational purposes, such as eco tours, and of course to take a walk and taste the natural atmosphere. In Noul Park, translated as the Sunset Park, there is a 9-hole golf course that is designed as environmentally friendly as possible in order to maintain the healthy condition of the nature that creates the golf course. To effectively construct an eco-friendly course, wide leaf grasses were planted to minimize the total area of the fairways. Leachate treatment sites were established around the park to treat runoffs, and they are then retreated at a sewage treatment plant. As the decomposition of waste in the landfill is inexorably ongoing, continuous monitoring and sustainable measures are prerequisite. The ecosystem of Nanjido has just begun to take its healthy shape, and to ameliorate the environment, it will require more time and endeavors throughout the future. Several benefits had been reaped due to the creation of the World Cup Park. From the environmental perspective, Seoul's Hangang River and the groundwater, soil, and air near Nanjido are consistently preserved against the leachate and harmful gas pollution that are produced from the landfill. Various problems related to odor, noise of trucks, and the proliferation of parasitic insects are impeded. From the technological perspective, the advanced techniques that are utilized to cleanse and stabilize the Nanjido landfill can be further implemented to other Korean governments who seek to solve locations from non-sanitary landfills that are facing similar environmental problems. From the socio-economic perspective, the demand of citizens to restore the polluted environment was ultimately answered. Furthermore, environmentally friendly parks are created and serve as places for recreation, environmental education, and meditation. From this instance, we are able to learn that even land that was once abandoned as a landfill can become a place that is adored for its beautiful nature. The essential goals of waste management in Korea are providing hygienic environment for people as well as the natural ecosystem through reducing waste production, promoting and applying waste recycle, treating waste that is generated by incorporating eco-friendly methods. Most importantly, introducing the concept of the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, and recycle is the core measure in successfully measuring those goals. In Korea, waste is managed in a bilateral system. The government is responsible for the final disposal of solid municipal waste that is produced from households. On the contrary, the final disposal of the industrial waste is managed by the discharger of the industrial waste. The Korean government is mainly focusing on reducing the production of waste by regulating and limiting the use of disposable products, as well as the generation of packaging material waste. So, in order to learn more about the municipal solid waste and the importance of the waste management system, I decided to visit the Mapo Resource Recovery Plant, which is situated inside the World Cup Park. By riding an eco-friendly towed electric car, I arrived at this facility that disposes waste which are collected from residential, commercial, and industrial areas to minimize landfill space. This will also reduce the presently ongoing urban environmental pollution. There, I was able to tour the clean and organized facility along with other elementary school students who seemed fascinated to learn more about the waste management system and how waste is effectively managed. After the profiting tour, I asked the coordinator, who was in charge of the tour, Seo Bo-ram, if she could accept an interview. Fortunately, she willingly accepted. Then, I asked her about how different categories of waste are getting managed, and other questions about this resource recovery plant facility.
우선 인터뷰에 응해주셔서 감사합니다. 소각 시 발생한 3% 정도는 매립된다고 들었습니다. 그러면 어느 매립지로 소송되는지 알 수 있습니까?
3%라는 게 이제 쓰레기를 태우고 남은 그 재를 말을 할 거예요. 근데 그 재의 종류에는 이제 비산재하고 바닥재가 있어요. 근데 바닥재 같은 경우에는 이제 입자가 굵기 때문에 벽돌을 만드는 원료로 사용을 하고, 이제 벽돌을 사용하고도 그 남은 것들은 그 재활용 업체로 보내져요. 그래서 거기서 재생 모래로 만들고 있거든요. 그래서 그 재생 모래로 이제 또 벽돌을 만든다거나 아니면 공사에 사용하는 뭐 콘크리트를 만든다거나 하는 거에 사용이 되고, 그 비산재라는 아주 입자가 얇은 파우더 같은 그런 먼지가 있는데, 그거는 이제 지정 폐기물로 지정이 되어 있어서 군산에 있는 지정 폐기물 매립하는 곳으로 보내지게 됩니다.
그렇다면 수송되어 단순 매립되는 쓰레기 매립지에는 차후에 어떤 문제점을 안고 있는지 말해주실 수 있습니까?
일단 우리나라는 국토가 좁기 때문에 이제 매립만 하다가는 이제 땅이 부족할 거고요. 또 땅에 단순히 묻는다면 이제 2차적인 오염, 뭐 침출수라든지 땅이 오염된다든지 하는 문제들이 있기 때문에 이런 소각시설, 그리고 단순히 소각하는 게 아니라 그걸 이용해서 전기나 뭐 난방을 공급하는 그런 자원 회수 시설이 많이 만들어지고 있습니다.
재활용품을 제외한 매립될 수 있는 생활 쓰레기를 이곳 자원 회수 시설에서는 재활용 보도 블록 등의 생산, 진규와 온수를 지역 난방공사에 제공하고 재활용 홍보를 위한 테마 순화 전시관 등으로 운영하고 있습니다. 그 외에 이곳에서 앞으로 계획 중인 추가 산업은 없는지 알고 싶습니다.
지금 말씀하신 것 중에서 또 증기 터빈 발전기를 돌려서 전기를 또 생산을 하고 있고요. 그리고 또 일단 운영에 안정화가 되어 있기 때문에 전력을 이제 사용하는 걸 줄인다든지 하는 것들을 이용해서 이제 운영을 더 효율적으로 하는 거에 힘을 쓰고 있습니다. 그리고 또 이런 견학을 통해서 이제 시민들이 혹시 이제 유해 시설이 아닌지 걱정되는 부분에 있어서 이제 시설을 직접 보여주면서 이제 염려를 또 그 안정시키는 그런 역할을 또 하고 있고요.
I interviewed other environmental experts such as Park Hae-jung, who works for the Ministry of Environments in Korea, and Lee Han-lip, who works as an environmental instructor for students. I asked them if the citizens are aware and applying the waste management system.
환경부 자원자력과 박혜정 중관입니다.
그 분리수거가 잘 실천되고 있는지요?
우리나라 같은 경우에는 그 생활 폐기물 관련해서는 지자체가 이제 책임을 지고 하고 있는데, 분리수거 같은 경우에는 지금 90년대에 이제 도입이 된 이유가 지금 벌써 도입된 지 20년이 넘었기 때문에 주민들 인식 자체는 상당히 높은 편이고, 분리수거는 저희는 대체적으로 잘 되고 있다고 판단하고 있거든요. 그리고 이제 지자체에서 또 이 재활용품이나 이건 그 유가성 가치가 많이 올라가고 있기 때문에 그걸 처리하는 재활용 업체나 그런 데서도 이건 뭐 국민들이 물론 분리수거도 열심히 하고 있지만은 일단 그런 가치가 올라가고 있기 때문에 이 분리배출이나 재활용은 상당히 제도가 정착이 됐다고 판단이 됩니다.
한국에서 환경부 소속 한국폐기물협회 환경교육 강사 이한립입니다. 한국의 폐기물 교육을 담당하고 있으면서 학생들에게 폐기물의 중요성, 그리고 폐기물을 왜 해야 되는지, 그리고 한국의 폐기물 현황 등에 대해서 설명을 하고, 또 같이 그 교육을 통해서 아이들이 잘 자랄 수 있도록, 그리고 잘 실천할 수 있도록 안내하는 그런 역할이죠. 근데 실제로 환경교육을 해보면 자원 재활용이라고 하는 부분, 그리고 자원 순환이라고 하는 부분에 대해서 학생들이 많이 인지하고 있고, 실제적으로 폐기물에 관한 분리배출을 굉장히 잘하고 있어요. 실제 우리나라에서 분리배출이 현실적으로 거의 83%, 85% 정도 활용도가 내지는 잘 이루어지고 있는 상황이기도 하고, 그 다음에 시민들 각자 스스로 그 분리배출에 대한 개념들이 정확해서 우리나라는 굉장히 잘 이루어지고 있는데요. 각 초등학교마다 그 교육을 통하고 또 폐기물로 인한 자원 재활용 그런 실습 만들기도 해보면 학생들이 굉장히 뛰어난 그런 인식을 갖고 있어서 우리 한국 사회의 미래가 굉장히 밝다고 볼 수 있습니다.
미래형 주택이에요. 미래형 주택인데요. 패시브 하우스라고 있습니다. 유럽에는 패시브 하우스 열풍이 불어요. 뭐냐면 단열, 채광 이거를 잘하면은요 에너지의 70%를 절감할 수 있어요. 그래서 저희는 저 선생님 집은요 단독주택이거든요. 에너지를 어떤 에너지를 가장 많이 쓰냐면요 우리가 전기 에너지일 것 같은데 사실은 도시가스예요. 전기 에너지는 또 우리 전기 에너지 값 싸잖아요. 선생님은 한 달에 3만 원 내요 전기 에너지 값은. 그런데 도시가스는 선생님은 일반 그 가정주택의 아파트가 아니에요. 그러니까 38만 원, 40몇만 원 나가요. 한 달에. 근데 패시브 하우스로 바꿨다! 그러면 70%가 저장이 되니까 50만 원이 아니라 15만 원어치의 에너지면 사용하면 되는 거예요.
Moreover, the government has implemented the Extended Producer Responsibility Policy. It is not only these implementations, but the government is going through great lengths in establishing a source separation of household waste program, expanding recycling facilities that are suitable to different regional conditions, encouraging the utilization of recycled and reusable products, and developing adequate technologies. Those regulations and policies establish a recycling system that is applicable to both the circulation of resources and the minimization of waste. Following such procedures, the Ministry of Environment has outlined a national framework plan and a national waste management plan that had been initiated from 2002 until 2011 in March 2002. The goal is to establish sustainable resources and to maintain that sustainable condition. In order to achieve this goal, the Ministry of Environment is systematically promoting the waste reduction policy, encouraging further utilization of waste resources, reusing, highlighting the safe waste treatments and strengthened waste management materials. To begin with, according to the Ministry of Environment, the policies for the reduction of waste include the VBWFS, which stands for Volume-Based Waste Fee System, Waste Charge System, food waste reduction, packaging waste, and industrial waste reduction. Secondly, packaging container reuse system is in policies for reuse of waste. Through the system, the items and standard proportions that are set by the Ministry of Environment, companies are able to voluntarily maintain the proportion of the refillable containers. In addition, the policies for recycling of waste are devised of sub-policies, which are extended producer responsibilities, construction waste recycling system, recycling business designation system, designated byproducts discharging business system, and separate discharge label system. Particularly, I'd like to mention about the volume-based waste fee system. In 1995, the Korean government introduced the VBWF system in order to minimize the waste generation at the source and to augment the practice of waste recycling. Households and corporate sectors are required to dispose their garbage under the VBWF system by purchasing designated VBWF bags. As a result, the citizens have more inducement to generate less waste due to the payment they will have to give for waste treatment in proportion to the amount they dispose.
Let us make it real. From right now, right here.
VBWF allows citizens to be more active in taking part in segregating waste and promoting the concept of the 3 R's by providing them gratis collection machinery for recyclable waste. Thus, the VBWF system compels the public to become more active in terms of separating garbage and promoting waste recycling. In scenarios where designated VBWF bags are not used and waste is disposed indiscriminately in inapt places, or the waste is illegally incinerated, the violator is imposed a maximum fine of 1 million won, which is equivalent to approximately $920 US. These cases are prevented by thorough and continuous monitoring from supervision specialists. And purpose for longer period of monitoring, members of local environmental groups, and individuals for the enforcement work of illicit actions. Municipalities are persistently operated by pollution report centers as well. According to the Korean Environmental Policy Bulletin in 2003, through the implementation of this system, Korea underwent a 17.8% reduction in municipal solid waste production and about 21% increase in recyclable waste in only the first year of 1995. It has not only altered the pattern of waste production, but also the awareness of the citizens towards waste disposal, such as segregation of different varieties of waste, and the attitudes of both the producers and the consumers, who have changed their behaviors from negligence to enthusiasm towards correct disposal of domestic waste. Hence, the VBWF program is an archetype of an effective market-based environmental policy that can bring tangible and positive outcomes.